Well, welcome to the Campfire Passport podcast. I've got my main squeeze, Colin, here, who's on the producing side. And then we're going to be joined by Mike, Tyson, Steve, and Jesse, which are a few of our favorite guests to have. And we're going to do a pre-camping podcast for our McGrew camp trip that's coming up shortly. We're about a week out from it, which the guys realize at the very end of the conversation, which causes all sorts of hilarious talk. The rest of us talk about how unprepared we are, or prepared. Mike, of course, is prepared because he's always prepared. He was 2 hours early for our podcast today. Colin, however, was 10 minutes late, and that's fine. We don't dislike him for that. Before we get into it, Colin, why don't you give us just a really small overview of what this camp trip is? We're going to get into it a lot more in the podcast, and I'm going to ruin it by getting into it like halfway through at some point. But just like broad strokes, tell us what we're doing, and then we'll get into the actual podcast.
Okay, yeah. So what it is it's McGrew Trail. It's in Southern Oregon, and it's a permitted trail that you have to apply to get approval to even drive on the trail. It's about 7 miles as far as like the main portion of the trail goes, and it's probably going to take us all day. It's just one of those kind of, you use the word exclusive because you have to get a permit type trails. But I think it's going to become a lot more popular with the advent of social media.
Of course. No doubt about that. All right, cool. Well, let's get into it.
Well, and you can't call it a soft start with Sean's huge mic dick there in the front,
Wow.
so still a hard start.
I'm gonna hold back. I don't want to be mean because I'm tired. So.
Oh man,
you can be mean to Mike. It's okay.
It's fine. I called it a mic dick, so.
Yeah, that's true. Cool. Well, that's a good topic. My new microphone, if you can see. It's amazing, I think. I don't know. I've used it for about 30 seconds now, and it seems good. Colin said it works, and Mike thinks it looks like a dick, and Jesse said he could hear my beard growing, so I think it's good.
I said other things, too.
Oh, while I was gone? Damn it.
No, well, yeah, I mean, I called it out first looking like a robot there, but
a girthy
nobody
bastard.
got my... Yeah. I mean,
it really is.
Is it just close to the camera?
It's taller than. Oh no, no! My computer's 5 feet away right now.
Forced perspective, not a thing here.
Yeah. I told Colin I can just like hide behind it.
you really can.
It does make a heck of a difference when you get further away, though. Like how close you are matters a ton.
Yeah. Well, I don't have to tell you this. That's how microphones work.
Oh yeah, but also how close you are matters a ton in a lot of other lifestyle things.
It's true. It's true. It's very true. Oh God. I was gonna say somebody. I watched a YouTube video not that long ago that was talking about steering into obstacles instead of away from them, which I haven't had a chance to put into practice, but I thought, man, that's a good idea. There are a lot of scenarios where just steering into it is a lot better, right? You can get, it's just maybe better than trying to go around, because every time you go around like an off like a off camber kind of scenario, you're just going uphill more, and usually that's not going to work, or you're going to break traction quicker. Like, snow or whatever, you're on that weird off camber. If you're towards the bottom, it's fine. The further you go up, the worse it gets. So I thought it was.
That's true when you're driving a camper on sand and you slide down a hill into a tree. But I wouldn't. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but
That
One
was
might assume.
something else, Mike.
Yeah. Right now, that camper is in Eugene at the most hippie festival in Oregon, the Oregon Country Fair, where my wife and son are getting their hangout on with Colin Meese's wife and daughter. We're trying to force that relationship between those two kids.
We know that works out well every time.
See what we can do.
Get that dowry ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I told them they better.
That's a different camper. The memory is from
that too.
the camper before the one you have now. My favorite.
Oh, I know. We
camper
overpaid
memory.
on that one. Yeah, we overpaid on that one and then sold it at a deficit. But we did get a whole lot of Bob Seger out of it, and I'm kind of I'm okay with it.
Well, on that note, this podcast, we're going to talk about another camp trip where Mike will probably drive into something, because it seems only.
But this time with a
We
Jeep.
can hope.
Yeah. An already wrecked Jeep, so maybe it's good. Oh, that's a good starting point, actually. Mike,
Oh, yeah.
why don't you run us through what's happened in the last 2 days since we were on the podcast before?
Hey now, it's been a solid week.
Yeah.
So I think last time I was on the podcast, I had a black TJ and a silver XJ. I proclaimed loudly and proudly that I was taking the XJ on the McGrew trip, and then I promptly sold both of them.
Yeah, well, you'll remember Mike was trying to sell the black one, and then that was the famed secret RSVP at gmail.com. Shout out.
Feel free to email me anytime.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Which, side note, thank you, Jesse, for putting that on the internet again today, because it made my entire morning. Just love seeing that.
No problem.
It's so comforting to see someone tagged and then Mike's email. In fact, I'm thinking about doing that for most of my Instagram posts. Maybe
no
I'll dedicate.
longer putting an at there. It's just always contact Mike at secret RSVP.
Yeah, give him my
Mike,
beeper
you
number too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
But yeah, so I sold both of those and bought a 2011 JK Unlimited Rubicon from a salvage yard.
As salvage.
It's a great deal. Yeah, when I drove it home, I was told that was an idea, not that it was good or bad. The guy's like, most people show up with trailers, and I was like, my dad will follow me home. And it worked out fine. It all turned out fine. I drove home. It turns out I did have a bent axle, and one of the tires wasn't the same size as the other ones. So I pulled those off and sold them and bought some nice 35-inch Duratracs, some good, decent tires for that. And then promptly went out wheeling with Tyson, where I popped the front Duratrac that I bought for cheap and went ahead and bought some 37-inch KO2s now that I fixed that problem. So I'm just buying tires and Jeeps and stuff. I'm ready for this trip. Don't worry about it.
It's lucky that you've got a friend that's so nice like me that's willing to break his back during the middle of his workday to mount those terrible tires onto your narrow wheels, only
Those
for you to
gone in a
pop
week.
one in a week. And then pay somebody else good money, great shop too, by the way, to do it. Because you
didn't wanna ask you
probably
again. I
didn't
was
want to
gonna
ask
feel
me
so
again. Yep,
bad.
that was it. I knew it.
Yeah, you know how bad it was last time, Sean? Do you want to do some bigger ones?
Yeah. That was a good.
Nope. Nope.
That was a good deal on those tires, though, too. That was like deal of the century. I looked, by the way, 39-inch KO2s, not that cheap on that site. Not at all. I know what they cost at cost.
It was
and
only
I went,
the
that's not good.
35s.
Seriously?
Yeah, the 35s are.
Yeah.
The 33s are more expensive than the 37s.
Were 320 or something like that.
So, for context,
Yeah, 266 a tire.
Mike found the cheapest website ever, which must have been based in the Pacific Northwest, from all I can tell, with BFGs, regular old KO2 BFGs, for cheaper than most shops cost, which is amazing and awesome, especially for Colin and Mike. Everybody else just kind of went,
it was like
man.
$800. Yeah, it was $800 cheaper than a friend of mine could get them at cost. So it seemed like a good deal. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. You should be amazed.
Yeah.
And Colin will attest to this. They showed up in 18 and a half hours. It was 18 and a half hours from when I bought them that they were at the front of my house.
Just wild.
And I think
Where'd they come
mine
from?
showed up faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
they
yes,
were
they
used
came
to it.
from
They
Portland.
already had a practice run. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's well, that's
Yeah.
good. Maybe they'll do 40s next. We'll see.
Yeah, I'll just keep my eyes open. I got an alert on that website.
Yeah.
Smart.
Sean's hoping.
They are. I'm looking at it right now. They're still that cheap.
Yeah, if you need 37s.
Well, I was like,
Yeah, if anybody
maybe
needs
that's a
37s.
sign that I should just buy another set. But probably.
I was very close to, but
Get 40s. Jesse and Sean both need 40s. Or 39s or whatever you want to do, but they can't be the same size again. You got to go up. That's the rule. I bought 35s and then had to buy 37s a week later. So you guys can't go stagnant on the size.
So what happens when you pop another tire in 2 weeks?
Tons of 40s.
40s. All right. You heard it here, folks. secretrsvp@gmail.com.
Shoot me an
Tell
email
him-
if you got
tell
a deal on wheels, because
Yeah.
I'm running those 7.5-inch wide OEM Rubicon wheels, which is fine.
Man, you got to get on that Colin game and get yourself some cool wheels.
I'm waiting for
I don't have them
used
yet.
cool wheels to happen.
Oh, you're not mounted up yet or anything? I didn't know that. I don't know why I thought
No,
that you
they
weren't.
find-
I'm disconnected.
I was so I ordered them the same day as I ordered the tires, and I'm still waiting for them to show up because they made it to Troutdale and then they have foreseeably stayed in Troutdale, and we'll see if they get here or not. They were supposed to be here today, and today has turned into tomorrow, so we'll see if tomorrow turns into Monday.
Okay. Well, last minute.
They'll be ready by McGrew.
So yeah, speaking of that, that's the
getting them on by McGrew.
that's the entire reason we're having this podcast, is that there's an upcoming camp trip, and we vowed to try to make sure that we do pre and post camp trip podcasts, which is what we're going to do, or what we're already doing, I guess. I was going to have Colin give like a rundown on what's going on, and then I was going to go over like vehicle stuff, which we've already been doing. So I think let's just go with more vehicle stuff, and then Colin can explain why we're prepping all these vehicles. I have a very broken swap project going on right now. My transmission didn't even have the chance to drive because I'm an idiot and didn't seat my torque converter all the way. So I broke the pump on not even first startup, I'm pretty sure. I think I did it when I was trying to prime the oil pump, which I think I talked about in another episode. I had to hook up a mechanical gauge because I had some weirdness going on with that. And then, anyways, my starter, what I didn't say, because I felt like an idiot, was that my starter jammed up a couple times, and I thought it was real weird that the starter would jam up with no compression. I just figured, it was a used starter. It came off that unknown other motor that I had gotten. And so I thought, whatever. It's just old. It's crusty. I had washed or cleaned it up, but it was still old. And it stopped doing that. Everything was fine. And I started it up. Everything was good. I went through all the warm-up procedure and was topping up the coolant. I ran it for 20 minutes, and I was stoked at how good it was doing. And then I was like, let's see if I can move it now that I've warmed it up all the way. And I stuck it in reverse, and it didn't move. And I thought, well, that's weird. And I stuck it in drive. It didn't move. Put it in park, looked underneath. Trans fluid everywhere. Okay, where's that coming from? Well, it was coming out of the breather,
transmission,
which I thought was strange and probably not right. So I turned it off and looked, and thanks to Tyson, who's my favorite automotive troubleshooting friend, because
you can reach me at secretrsvp@gmail.com.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't actually have an email address. I have to write it down for him.
Yeah.
We decided,
I'll print them all off and hand them to Tyson.
Hey, let's check this thing out and see if it's actually moving fluid. Because immediately I thought, I wonder if that's what's going on. And no fluid moving. So I pulled the trans out, which was actually really easy. It only took me about 45 minutes. Split the case off of it.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the jack, Mike. And then put it on a tray on the ground instead of on the workbench because I didn't want to pick it up by myself. And yeah, sure enough, pump is broken as all can be. But the good news is it didn't go through anything. So long story short, I have an awesome new upgraded pump, a Sonax Performance Pack kit that I'm going to put in there. And all of that came while I was on vacation. So I've been dealing with trying to be awake for a couple days, and that's been going. And that's where I'm at with vehicle prep for a camp trip in a week.
All right, so Sean, before anybody goes any further, point the microphone at you, not at the ceiling. If you get anywhere off of your microphone, it's losing you most of the way. So just tilt it towards you instead of straight up.
But it's supposed to be straight up.
Point the dick right at you.
Well, if it's not pointed, when you're not right above it, you disappear.
Well, I am moving around.
So now try and talk. Now that sounds way better.
You're a rambunctious fella.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Sorry.
All good.
Sorry,
anyways.
It's the audio guy in me. I used to be in a band, and I had to run all that stuff. So it was part of my job for a long time.
Yeah, new thing. I get it. All good. So yeah, Mike. What have you done other than the tires?
I did an axle shaft. I did some exhaust work. I did spacers. I did a thermostat, a gas cap, and some evap stuff. Sold the hard top. Sold the dumb cage exo thing rack. Got a soft top. Patched the soft top. Installed a 12,000-pound Harbor Freight winch and much too nice of a bumper that I got from Sounds Fast because they bought it on accident and somebody didn't come buy it. So I got that at cost, which was nice. Sway bar end links, because that's what popped my first set of tires, is the sway bar end links were too short. So when I had my sway bar disconnected in the Jeep, it allowed the sway bar to completely invert. So instead of being like, yay, they went like, yay. And that's right in the turning path of the tire. And for some unknown reason, it had quick disconnects, even though it was a Rubicon, it had a disconnectable sway bar. And those quick disconnects were sharp enough that they just poked right through my tire and tore it to shreds. So, but that's it, really.
Well, Mike, that's great. That's great that you got all of those things done that we talked about. There definitely wasn't a pause where we had gotten anything messed up or I had to restart my browser or anything like that.
I didn't see it.
Colin is waiting on wheels apparently from a wheel supplier that does great things and shall remain unnamed unless he wants to burn them at the stake for making him miss a trip or something.
Aren't there methods?
No, it's
I mean, it's not on them. It's on that freaking Troutdale FedEx location that decided to lose packages and hold packages forever.
It's the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. No, and it's FedEx. It's only FedEx. They are the worst.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
Yeah. So
in defense of that statement, I did order a very expensive set of drums for my older brother for his birthday one year, and they put them on my front driveway in the rain because they didn't want to walk it to the front porch.
Well, it was rain.
So
Can you blame them?
That day.
I mean,
who wants to walk in the rain like that?
I don't know, but hey, it's okay. Let's put a $2,000 drum set on this in this driveway right next to the street in the rain.
Did it
you
say?
chose to live in the rain, man.
Did it say $2,000 drum set on there?
Yeah,
no,
the
it
cheaper
did
drum
say
sets will wash away. The $2,000 ones, they can stand it.
That's why you pay extra.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fuck me. I didn't know. It does say Pacific Drums right on the side of the box.
I don't know what that
I was
means.
very angry at it.
I'd be like, what kind of half-rate drum set is this? I don't care.
It came from the ocean. You should be able to leave them in the water.
Yeah.
Yes, very specific drums.
So off topic now, but back on topic. Colin, you've got wheels and tires, which I know that this is tough because Colin loves to keep everything that he does to his car a secret. And so like publishing something to go on the internet is very anti-Colin. But I just, for the sake of moving the conversation forward, you have put springs on it, which I think are done, right? Both front and rear. And you've got wheels and tires.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Well, I mean, everything's going to get posted, afterwards. So it's all good at this point. But basically, since my giant shakedown run that was the Alvord trip, it's been chasing coolant leaks. And then after chasing coolant leaks, I moved the MAF. And then after that, I did my springs. And then I bought some of the smooth body Fox 2.0s, so the non-reservoirs. But I got a good deal on those and put those in, and that's made a massive difference. Like it's extremely noticeable how much better with the Deaver springs and the Foxes it rides. And then basically, the whole time I've been looking for a fair price on some 37s. My current wheels are 15s, so I also have to get wheels basically in order to have any type of selection for 37s. But then when Mike came across those crazy cheap 37s, that was pretty much okay, I am just going to buy those because they're cheaper than used 37s. And so cheap, in fact, that I was able to then buy brand new wheels as well. So, so I've got a set of methods coming, and hopefully they get here within the next week so that I can have 37s for for this trip. I also got an awning during the CVT
nice.
Fire sale, since they're quote unquote moving but coming back afterwards apparently. But Yeah, I think other than an alignment, once I get the wheels and tires on, and maybe a fan shroud, uh, that might be about all I'll be able to. Oh, I put sliders on too, I guess. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
So
those look
I
good.
just got a set of
Didn't you
trail
need
gears
bumps?
and put those on. Uh,
Did you
I
do
would
bumps
like
yet?
to have bump stops. I I I don't have a ton of up travel, honestly. And it's funny, everything on the internet, much like Sean's story about asking a community on the internet something, uh, when asked about people's bump stop setups, I actually got some info, but it was info that seemed silly to me because it was basically people that were like, "Oh, well, I don't run bump stops. It's not worth it to run bump stops. The spring stops flexing before anything runs into anything." And it's like, well, that's not the only reason we have bump stops. But yeah, thanks for the thanks for the info. But yeah,
Well,
I don't have a
if they
ton
want,
of up travel actually. So
well, yeah, you can explain to them. They can give me a phone call and let me know why, or I can let them know why rear bump stops on long shocks and short springs matter, because I've broken, I don't know, 2 shocks at this point because it's my own fault, obviously. That's why I'm saying this. But because my shock is what bottoms out, not the bump stop. And so fast enough, hard enough,
yeah.
and enough stuff in the back, and that will break a shock immediately.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
Well,
fun when it happens
in my case, because
in
it's a
Death
leaf
Valley.
spring. Yeah, with the leaf springs, you can de-arch the spring and basically ruin it. Uh, and then there's just the whole thing, axle wrap and things like that can become, more of a problem there if you are not stopping the spring before it decides that it's going to spring the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good. You don't want any of that. What do you run for bump stops on the Suburban, Jesse? What's that all about?
I have no bump stops on the
Oh,
Suburban at this
well,
point in time.
because you don't need them, obviously, because the internet said that's fine.
Leaf
Oh,
springs.
yeah,
Yeah, leaf springs and
I
no bump
just,
stops. That's how you do it.
yeah, there's leaf springs. Um, no, I did take advantage of a Timbren sale, and I bought some for the front. I just have not installed them. Uh, and I might just wait to put them on the back because I might just inevitably go to radius arms in the front, but I don't know. That's a really big financial pill to swallow,
Are you
aka
thinking?
coilovers.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, are you gonna do coilovers or coil springs?
Yeah.
Coils. Hold on, before we go too far, coilovers are awesome and the best, and like Colin's truck is an awesome example of a setup like that. It looks really good, and I'm sure it performs well. But like, I think coil spring and radius arm is underrated in this kind of scenario. Like guys that are fabbing it themselves,
Oh, yeah.
that can set up spring buckets in the right spot, get the right coils, get it all set. Like they don't do that mostly because it's much cooler and much like it's like if coil spring and radius arm is 70%, 100% is coilover. And so it's interesting to see like how that doesn't happen very often.
I think it's probably just adapting spring rates and the spring that you need to get the height and the weight all correct on your front end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that
and
makes
apply
sense.
to your rig. So like where I'm sitting at, my 76 Chevy square body, it's like, where do I set my spring bucket for this weight, this setup with the 6 liter, LQ4? It's very difficult with the coilovers. At least you can adjust that and
Yeah.
account for not having to refab a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, and you can buy, you dual rate your springs and do all that stuff, and it's great. Like it makes sense. It's just the cost of entry is so high. They're
It's like $2,500
yeah.
for
Well, and then
actual proper travel rate. Like if you're gonna do it, you don't want to half-ass it.
no,
You're
and
gonna get real good coilovers,
that's the thing.
and they're $2,700 a piece.
Slippery
Especially
slope.
when you're talking about when you're talking about big trucks like that too. It's like you want a 2.5 at a minimum. You don't want to put a
Oh yeah,
dinky little internal 2.0 coilover on it. It's just not worth it. So you step up to the big one, and then you end up where Colin's at, where it's like, it's awesome, but also because he did that up front, he's running matching rears, and it's got, it's like you just go down that road until you've, until you've done what I've done and have an engine like that you built and put everything around. So, that's being a car person, right?
yeah. It's. I will say I'm actually very impressed with the rear of the Suburban. I thought my suspension was going to be shit. I thought I overestimated my travel. I thought I picked shocks that were too long, but it worked. It worked great. I'm glad I didn't do the shackle reverse kit. I love where the shackles drop down. The rear end rides so smooth. I put 1,000 pounds of lumber on top of a rack on top of my truck or the Suburban, and it didn't break the roof. It just sagged the rear end a little bit. I was impressed.
That's
I like
impressive.
your saggy rear end.
So, but it won't. In purpose of conversation, it's not going to make McGrew. Unfortunately.
Damn.
You just Tacoma.
Because of your saggy rear end?
Yeah, it's going to be the Tacoma's. It's going to be the Tacoma's last ride. To be honest, I'm
Bold
full
claims.
send selling. But it is a bold claim. I'm going to.
If you're interested in purchasing it, email secret RSVP.
At gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Yeah, if you want a 2018 Tacoma Pro on 37s, please email secretrsvp.com or at gmail.com.
I'd like to really point out here, just for a second, Jesse's been selling that Tacoma just like I don't sell my Jeeps. So we're like
That's
yin and
very
yang
true.
here.
They say everything is for sale, but Jesse's has legitimately been for sale this entire time.
It's been for sale as much as
Not
I
trying
just
very
have
hard,
my phone
but
number on the
for
side
sale.
of the truck.
Yeah,
It says for sale with my phone number. And the only thing that's ever happened from that for sale sign is I've got a creeper in my neighborhood creeping on me or my wife. I don't know which one.
Oh my God.
You, obviously you.
It's debatable. I don't know
It's
who
your
it
saggy
is.
bottom.
Yeah, it's that saggy bottom
saggy
Suburban.
rear.
He knows what he's got.
Saggy rear. That's what it was.
No. Actually, you can email com if you would like and find out who he's creeping on because he's leaving notes in my front yard now. And I'm pretty sure he's texting me.
Wait a minute. Well, let's
So-
back up. What kind of notes?
Is this the church?
There have been.
Do you know where
No,
you go
this
when
is
you
not-
die?
These are not the Mormon notes. So
I
they
sent him
are.
back to your new house. I gave him your address.
They're sticky notes. So the first one was a sticky note that said, "Email me discreet at."
Oh no.
And so you did.
Fold it up
Obviously.
and put in my front yard.
I gotta say, the sticky
found
note
it.
is extra creepy.
Yep.
Had to go to an
Then
Office
there-
Max for that.
Then there was another sticky note about another 2 weeks later that was said, "You're super cute," but it was spelled YOUR. Just
So
Hint.
I want a little
Big turn
clarification.
off.
Now, the sticky note, is this a note that has become sticky, or this is the sticky notes that we're familiar with?
no.
Post it.
It is a standard
Post it.
sticky note.
I need a
It's a Post-it
post-it
note.
note.
Maybe the intent was for it to get sticky, but they are not sticky in that manner.
Okay. Okay, so it's
Then-
not that creepy.
Not yet.
It's not a
So then there's
sticky
a third
post-it note.
Combo breaker.
There was now a third note that is on a fake $10 bill that was stuffed into Anna's windshield wiper that says, "You're a stud."
Yeah, they're
That's
getting
sure it's
their
not a
messages
church?
all crossed.
Huh.
Now it's called cross. So we're thinking that it might actually be this individual in the neighborhood that was texting me about buying my truck because they saw the phone number on my truck. I have since recently blocked this individual.
Are you sure it's not a couple?
Oh, yeah, maybe actually I didn't think about
Ooh,
that,
a
Mike.
swinger.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
just it's a double up.
Put
Did
a
you-
pineapple out front. See what
some
happens.
swinging?
Miss
Still
What?
still gonna
misconnections.
pass.
Upside down.
What is a pineapple up for? What there's? Please don't tell me everybody else knows what this means.
Sean's not in the swinger club, apparently.
Oh man, spent too much time in France and forgot to learn about swinging, huh?
See,
You take
Too
this
much
one.
time learning.
Steve, you take this one. I know. I saw you click
Yeah.
that button.
Yeah, Sean, next time
Yeah,
you're in the
it's-
grocery store, grab a pineapple and put it in the cart, but put it in the cart upside down, okay?
huh?
That's the move.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to do that. I don't know. I do want to hear Steve's explanation of what this means because I trust Steve and I think he'll shoot me straight on this.
He's a doctor.
I mean, the pineapple upside down means you're a swinger, 1,000%.
Just in general, if you have an upside down pineapple, that's it.
Means
What
you're
happens if
looking
you
to
accidentally
swing.
flip it over?
You're either
How is
clumsy
this
or
common
a
knowledge?
You're an accidental swinger, but you're still gonna swing, man.
Well, I only know
Huh.
that because of friends of ours.
Oh, I know who
I know
that
that's
is.
going to sound.
I know who
Steve's
that
got
is.
some swinger friends.
Yeah, but everyone knows who that is. So.
Oh boy. Huh. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Dun,
Be
dun,
very
dun.
careful. Very careful about my pineapples now.
Yes.
Gotta watch my earrings, gotta watch my pineapples, I gotta watch my mandarin oranges. God.
Your post-it
What else is
notes.
gonna be a signal?
Yeah. This world. Is your build out in the Wagoneer like set still, or is it the same, or have you done anything with like your fridge and all that stuff? I know you were kind of like trying to figure out where you were permanently mounting stuff.
Yeah, I still haven't gotten anywhere further with that. It was pretty much a concentration of fixing my, broken leaf springs, and then that like grew into, this still rides like dog shit. I'm gonna do shocks. So it rode terribly still. Two, the shocks were a solid like 3 to 4 inches too short, and which obviously limits my down travel. And
I remember that.
because in the back, because they are the style that the body is on the bottom, they would run into the axle on cycle, so they had dented them, so there's even less up travel because of that. And basically the same thing happened on the front because of where they were positioned next to so the Wagoneer has a spring over axle conversion, which those were normally spring under. So now, because the spring plate that the U-bolts go into, so because of where that was positioned being higher, it was right in the middle of the shock body, and so the shock bodies on the fronts also had giant dents from running into the spring plate, which obviously would limit travel as well. So now that I have shocks that have the bodies in the proper position and whatnot, things are clearance, actually have clearance to move. So, yeah. So there's just things are taking a back seat to, ironing out the drivability and usability of it at this point. I'll get to the rear end build out for camping and stuff hopefully soonish. We'll see. Won't be before McGrew though. That's for sure.
Yeah. I bought in the meantime, with all of this stuff and my transmission being the way it is, I bought what is that sound?
I think it's Steve's dog drinking, or somebody's dog is drinking.
Oh. It's my dog. That's Susie.
Oh.
She's too old. It takes more effort.
Bless her.
Yeah. I won't mute it.
Yeah.
You get to hear the whole thing.
That's all I could
we're
hear.
just gonna say it's a dog
She's a
drinking. It
thirsty
could be
girl.
something else.
Oh
It could
my
be that
god,
upside down pineapple.
that seems
Yeah, I'm
right.
home alone. Don't worry about me. Yeah.
Oh. So anyway, because it's relevant to my truck moving, I bought a Dometic faucet system, which I'm really stoked about because I've been trying to get one for a couple years since they teased it. And then when it came out, I was supposed to get one through my previous employer, Colin, and it didn't work out. Not this Colin, other Colin.
That's not me. I'm not.
And that's,
I don't employ nobody.
My fault too. I won't completely throw him under the bus for that. But anyways, so I bought one, and I'm stoked about it. Except for I don't have a vehicle to drive, so it's cool. I tested it in the kitchen.
Next to the other faucet.
Yeah, it's not as good as a regular faucet. I'll tell you that much.
Get your shit together, Dometic.
Yeah. I need instant hot water. Come on. I don't understand. So I think that's as good a time as any to have Colin explain what we're talking about. That the McGrew Trail is a super not famous, I'd say, but up and coming, it seems like, starting to get a little more popular trail in southwestern Oregon. And it's a little bit exclusive, and I think it's a cool thing to be able to run. And we're also, he'll probably say this too, but we have extra spots available, so we were kind of hoping to get other people to join us if they can. It's going to be too late by the time this airs, so I guess that really doesn't matter, but whatever. If you do want to go, you can either DM Campfire Passport or email secretsvp@gmail.com. And yeah, Colin, why don't you explain why you picked this, what we're doing, that kind of thing.
That kind of thing. I mean, I feel bad because you skipped over, a rundown from Steve and Tyson, but yeah, I suppose I can.
They didn't do shit to their rigs. They haven't done shit.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I cannot believe I did that. I told you I was tired.
Three of us have not. I mean, you asked me at a rig that I didn't even use, but I mean,
whoops.
We haven't done anything.
Hey, Colin, shut up for a minute. Hey, Steve. How's the Tacoma? Is it normal? The same?
It's normal, the same. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Cool. Anything new? Any new kitchen gadgets?
Nope.
Nope. Do you want to borrow a Dometic Go?
Yeah.
It doesn't have hot water, but
It's not as good as a regular faucet.
Yeah. I'll deal with my already pressurized hose.
yeah, maybe you could pressurize this thing, because then it would be a little better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I know Tyson did a lot, but I think that he's done a lot and is maybe not going to bring the vehicle that he's done a lot to, or no, I read that wrong. He still thinks that there might be more to do. That's what it was.
So, yeah, I'm planning on taking my 92 Jeep Cherokee XJ 2-door.
Sure.
I haven't done too much other than swapped in a Dana 44 in the back. If you're up on the YouTube's Campfire Passport, you saw part of that. I re-geared the front and rear to 488s. I got a Craigslist special lunchbox locker for the rear that was not assembled properly. So when I put it in, it didn't work. I had to take it apart, put it together the correct way. Now it works. Did a shakedown that Mike kind of touched on, where he popped his tire. I got really super stuck testing the locker and the gears. Nothing broke. My track bar for the front was super, super loose, so I put a new track bar in. I have ZJ steering components coming.
Pause there. Tyson says nothing broke, but he has like a 1 foot by 1 foot dent in the passenger side door and also in the Dana 44 cover.
Yeah,
it's not
he
broken.
Put rocks in places. Not broken doesn't include body damage. Yeah.
It's not broken. It's not the same, but it's not broken.
Does the door open?
Door's still open.
Oh, it's not broken then.
I do not have sliders. Yeah, I do not have sliders on this unibody XJ, so that's going to be a huge risk I'm taking. Excited to see how that plays out. I did find over the last week that it will not stay in 4 low because I smashed my transmission cross member up another 2 inches. So the linkage does not move in its full range.
That seems like a common XJ thing.
I've gone through 4, so I wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm also going to try to do a clutch before the trip. And that's all.
It's the new Disco 2 transfer.
So not much.
Yeah.
Not much to do in the week before. I wanted to touch on re-gearing to 488s with an AX15 transmission on 35s. My top speed is about 65 miles an hour, so it's going to be a long trip because I plan to drive it to the trail. That'll be awesome.
It's a long trip anyway. That's going to be excessive.
I made it longer. I'll hang out with you, Tyson, because I've got 37s on stock 410 gears with a 3.8 liter V6 Jeep. So we'll just hang in the back and have our own fun.
And I'm just geared low.
Well, I get better gas mileage at that speed anyway.
I mean, it's a big transformation for that thing.
I'm gonna need the range.
Yeah, no kidding. I wonder, you should get better mileage with 37s, Colin. It should help your highway at the very least.
Yeah, it should get a little better, I hope.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like you don't have the power to turn them. So yeah, just making your legs a little longer.
Yeah.
I think
I've got plenty of power and plenty of gear.
Plus,
I bet the KO2s are lighter.
I don't know about that, but because they're bigger than what I currently am running. The wheels are smaller, in a sense, the new wheels are smaller, but so they might be slightly lighter than the wheels I have now, but I don't know.
I weighed my Duratrax and my KO2s off the both on the wheel, and they were it was like 3 or 4 pounds lighter per wheel on my KO2s to go up to 37s from like 3/4 wore out Duratrax.
Yeah, but those were 10 ply too.
Yeah, that's true.
The new ones are not.
True.
But, it makes sense. I mean,
they're the 6 ply.
It works. Unsprung weight is very important. So, yeah. So now that we actually asked everybody what their vehicle prep was, why do you have money in your hand, Jesse? Is that your fake $10 bill?
This is the fake $10 bill.
Is that the $10?
Oh,
yeah,
I
is
gotta
that
see
it?
this.
You guys,
Get it close.
this is the fake $10 bill. For the viewers here, it says your sex, or it says sexy stud.
Okay. Okay.
but it looks quite real until you get to the back. And if you can focus on what the words are above, it says for movie use only.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It says,
Wow.
sorry, for motion picture.
So you're saying
use
they're an
only.
actor?
Gotta.
I don't know.
So
That's a-
you're going to have to check
good
the Screen
crush.
Actors
Not so
Guild.
sticky note.
I'd
You're
like to
super-
point out that
God.
I would never, ever think that Anna is a stud of any kind. That's got to be for you, man.
See, but this is the use. You're super cute.
Well, you can be a
Improper
stud
use of
and
your-
super cute.
I mean, yeah, and be super
Yeah,
cute.
all of this
yeah.
describes you, Jesse.
Yeah.
I am not that cute.
I don't know, Jesse.
I am not that cute.
Have you thought about,
Maybe not
you know,
super
Ryan
cute.
lives,
Disagree.
you know, dangerously close to you? Are you sure it's not Ryan?
Oh, that's not his handwriting. And also, Ryan is very aware of the proper your.
Yeah, but what if he's trying to throw you off?
He would
I'm
use
glad
the
that you know his
correct
handwriting.
grammar. Yeah, exactly. He's throwing you off with improper
Yeah,
grammar.
he's
No,
writing
see,
with his offhand.
Ryan
I
is-
still think it's a
and
church.
I'm not convinced. None of those things
Ryan is
have-
a lot of things, but he is definitely like I think that he is so grammatically correct. Like he could not even as a joke be to be grammatically incorrect.
Man, that's very
I
limiting.
don't think
Yeah,
he could do it.
it'd be tough. I feel his pain a little bit there. It'd be hard.
So anyway, Anna's searching for the other note. If we find his email, I would love to broadcast it and everybody could text him or email him.
That sounds
I'll
great.
shoot him a message from secretsvp@gmail.com and see if he gets creeped out.
Yeah.
No one
It
likes
is
to receive
off-putting.
those.
Hey, I heard you think my friend's super cute. I'm super
This
cuter.
is his stud.
You trying to talk to my boyfriend?
Oh no.
Oh, this could get so good.
So yeah, come on a camp
Back
trip
to
with
McGrew,
us
please.
to
I'll
McGrew.
send the church to his house.
Do you know where you go?
Thank you for the
guys?
sidetrack.
That's just a small sample of what happens when we're actually hanging out in person around a campfire. But it goes on for hours.
It gets a little
Yeah,
weirder.
and there's
too.
no lag.
Is a hot dog
Definitely
a
does.
sandwich?
No lag. Much
No
easier.
lag.
Well,
High
the rate
latency
we're
lulls.
oh,
Low latency? I don't know. Sorry.
It's a LAN party.
just a little-
Latent lulls.
I would also. I think that's the most interesting thing about this trip specifically. There's going to be no wives.
Well,
There
we'll make
are
each other
no
our wives. It's just a natural thing that happens.
Prison rules.
Yeah.
It's
Jesse, I already
prison
claimed you as my boyfriend.
rules. I get that, but
I'm going to fight this guy for you.
I
Via
did some
email.
funking with
Rules.
Steve.
Yeah. I got room.
John is already showing dominance with his giant silver dong, but it is definitely a different dynamic when we all get together and our significant otters are not there.
I cry more.
it is true.
Boy, that's for sure.
It is true.
I get a little more
Although-
redneck.
Yeah, also true.
Let me put a broken cooler on top of my truck and drive as fast as I can.
Hey, Sean, here's a gun. Shoot it out the window. And
I
what
totally
do you,
forgot about that.
what do you say?
Oh, thank you.
How can you say no to that?
Nope, you did, and you did it. I am so
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be Yosemite Sam in that scenario. That's the only thing that you can do.
I
Allegedly.
forgot that happened. Oh man.
This was on public
Allegedly.
land in a controlled area under supervised conditions.
Of
Oh
course.
no, we were very
No one
responsible with
is
this.
implicating anyone in any alleged illegal activity.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Close
drive by
course.
Sean.
Let's not start that one.
If you want to know more about Drive by Sean, you can email me at secretrsvp@gmail.com.
Oh my god. So anyways, we're going on a camp trip, and apparently nobody's
where's
significant
that?
others are going, and Colin knows all the details about it because he's the grand master of all of these ridiculous events that we do all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I am.
so like Sean mentioned, McGrew is kind of it's the way you put it makes the most sense, where it's becoming more known. For a long time, nobody knew anything about it. I mean, when I first saw something about it, it was, I want to say it was like 3 years ago, and there was like super limited information on it. And I'm pretty sure that I had texted you about it, Sean, like, because I had found it, was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But it said that it was a permitted trail, but there was no information on how to actually get said permit. And then thanks to, social media influencers and things like that, there was an article about it, and which was, I think, 2 years ago, and they actually posted a link of where to get the application to apply for it, and so after I saw that, I saved it so that I could apply for it. And this was also put off because of the pandemic stuff, because they had closed everything and we were all, doing weird stuff. But once it finally opened and it said that they were accepting permits again, I put in for the permit, and it took a while to get any word back. You're kind of like left in the dark. They say, hey, we received it, but they don't give you any information on if it's been if you've been accepted or anything like that, because you don't know if someone else has applied before you for your date or anything like that. So that's one part that's really cool, because we know we're going to be the only ones out there that weekend. We're the only people that are going to be out there on that specific trail. So, which can be good and can be bad, obviously. If we have issues, it could be problematic, but I think we'll be all right. But yeah, it's a trail in Southern Oregon, and it sounds to me a lot like our local Edison, as far as like length and how challenging it is, kind of how it's set up. And I mean, like I said, I've always thought it looked cool and it would be neat to go in, and we lucked out and got approved for the weekend I put in for, so we're going to hit it.
That's right.
Woo-woo.
Yeah,
It's
super stoked.
essentially this crew. Is there any others that I'm missing that Aaron said maybe, probably not? I'm not sure. Jesse's going.
I'm bringing a surprise guest.
I know who the surprise guest
Oh.
is.
Is it Ryan?
So no, so
Is it Robert?
22
Yeah, sorry, Mike.
at-
Tell me
He's
it's
already
Robert.
he's already taken. So
Damn it. Is Robert coming in his cheater chassis?
God,
Let's join.
I tried. I really tried. But as soon as I told him that he would get more barking dogs, he was out. So,
Or what?
So have you ever been on an Airbus, the plane?
Yeah.
It makes a sound called the barking dog.
It is an Airbus, the plane. What the fuck else is an Airbus?
As opposed to the flying Greyhound
that gets launched by a trebuchet. Have you been on one of those?
Yeah. You ever seen Harry Potter?
Sorry. Go
So
on.
on the Airbus, there is a sound from the hydraulic pump that goes meow boom, meow boom. And to a passenger, it sounds terrifying. But to the pilot and the crew, they're like, "Wow, this is just normal." So for Robert, who is not totally accustomed to off-roading, when you hit a rock, I call that the barking dog to him.
Okay.
Because he's not used to it. And every time he tags a rock, it's like the end of the world, like his truck is broken.
So you just thought the rest of us would know that? You just threw that term out there? Like, oh yeah, these guys will get it.
No,
Luke
that's why I was
is the
trying to
only one
explain it.
who's going for a pilot's license. All of us are stuck
he'd
on
get
the
it.
fucking ground.
A bunch of
I don't
idiots.
know. You guys are very intelligent individuals, and I figured you might know what the barking dog is on an Airbus.
We all
I
have
thought you were
regular
talking about
dogs.
Doc.
Now, if you're
That's a
talking
different story.
the freaking
Because that is a barking dog.
oh man,
Yep.
you're talking
all the time.
A10 Warthog. Yeah, let's talk about the A10 Warthog. But an Airbus, nah. Sorry, man. not the sexiest plane out there.
No, but it might have Colin's wheels on it right now.
Is it because it's French, Tyson? Is that the problem?
No, I got nothing against the French. Well,
I
except
do.
their
They know how to-
automobiles, but
They know how to riot. They got good riot shit automobiles.
yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
why
There's
I
some
always
good
go
Renaults
riots.
out there.
Oh, Colin, I
did
took a
see a
picture
French-
for you. I was because I didn't take any pictures of them until I saw every Air France vehicle parked in a small area at Charles de Gaulle for you. So I'll send it. They're not all good. There's a couple winners in there.
Okay.
So my secret guest or my surprise guest is my friend Carlton.
Not Luke.
So I'm dropping my wife off in Grants Pass. Not Luke. I'm dropping my wife off in Grants Pass, who is best friends with his wife. And he and I are coming on the trip. So we do have a surprise friend, and he's just as hillbilly as me, if not more. And
Did I met him?
Nope. You've
All
not
right.
met him.
Get ready to punch a new person in the face.
No, that's just Jesse.
Mike, I would not punch him in the face because I'm pretty sure Carlton will not hesitate to punch you right back.
I saved that for you, buddy.
And he is he is not a weak wall. He is a formidable fortress who will push back.
I'm going to be generally polite and proper because I'm bringing my kid with me. So Miles is my co-pilot.
Oh, perfect. So that's what it takes to keep you nice.
Well, I'm going to try.
But nobody else
Is
beyond
Ryan not coming? Because I thought you said that Ryan.
I
was coming
don't
with
think
you too.
Ryan will be joining us this year. He was potentially going to be able to come, but it just with the kid and everything and managing a 6-year-old or a 6-month-old, it was just going to be too much. So understandable. I mean,
Yeah. The
we're all dads, so we get it.
I've sent out some invites, obviously, to some other people. Big surprise. Nobody knows who we are, so nobody wants to join. In fact, a local establishment also, after I reached out to them, decided to put one of their events on the same exact weekend after they, spoke to me briefly about coming. That they decided to go ahead and schedule their own event the same weekend. So that was cool. I may have a friend that he is even more green than Robert is, but he has a Mojave Gladiator, and he lives in Seattle, and he's talking potentially about busting essentially an all-nighter to meet us at camp Thursday night and do his first bit of wheeling that he's ever done, basically. So there's no guarantee on his joining us or not just yet, but he was very, very interested and was already talking about moving his work schedule around so that he could potentially make it happen. So maybe there will be that extra guest, but I don't think anybody else has any extra guests. I was curious, though, of Steve's menu, because this is something that is a big piece of all of our trips. So I would love to get a little rundown on what Steve may have cooking up in his brain there to bring along on our adventure.
I'm doing the same thing I always do, and that's bring too much of everything. But I'm going to do Verde again because I had that on hand. And I'll do short ribs. And yeah, I don't know. That's about it. That's about all I have planned so far.
Still got a week.
Can I jump in there, Steve?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not going to be able to bring much cooking stuff. So how much does it cost to get on your dinner menu?
But yeah, depending on how many people want. Well, I mean, that's always the thing. Is last time I brought way too much and no one ate anything, basically.
Well, this time I'm not even bringing a stove. So
I got you.
Help me.
I'll have you covered.
I feel like I ate a lot,
Cool.
but I'll eat more. If that's the challenge you're
maybe
giving,
I just
then
bring.
fine.
I just bring.
I'll eat more.
I see your challenge, Gypsy.
Again, I'll eat more.
I just bring too much. And also,
No, not this time.
Yeah, still trying to figure out what cook setup to actually bring and how much is too much. Jesse stopped me earlier from ordering a stove.
Why, Jesse? Why the hell would you do that?
Jesse can speak.
Let
up
the
for
guy
that
cook,
one.
man.
I've said it once before on the pod. I'll say it before again. I'm a Polish gypsy by heritage. I consistently think about not spending money. It's like, I'll just cook it over the fire. So I say stupid things to Steve like, God, do you really need that? And he's like, I don't know. Do I really?
Yes, Steve. Yes, you do. Let's all vote on whether or not we think Steve should buy cooking equipment. Yeah.
All right, it's settled.
You got one vote from Mike.
Yeah, but I
just
yelled
means no
louder than you did,
firewood.
Jesse. Oh, man.
Oh man.
Well, I am very excited about this trip, guys. I'm still gonna really push for Raw Dog coming, even if it is
Ooh,
haphazardly
that's what she said.
brought together
Just
and
waiting for it, man.
brought on a trailer.
I want Raw Dog coming everywhere.